Welcome back. So in an effort to get the people that I love to talk to and that I hang out with, that's what this podcast is about, is healthcare practitioners that are doing cool stuff in the Tulsa area. And that's what Austin Meier is. But not only that, from 2006 to 2013, that's 8 times he was a World Finals PBR bull rider. And then in 2010 was the runner-up. And so to say he's a little tougher than me is probably an understatement, which I'm okay with. I get it. I'm so okay with it. I brought Austin here today, not only because he's a good human and he does a lot of really good things, but because his story is so interesting about what got him to me even, but also like what got him to this device that you're going to see today, and you're going to get to see me get treated with it. Yep. Which I'm excited about. I actually have used this several times before, and so I figure you could catch it and see me do it in live action. And so this is Austin Meier, PBR guy, really known all over the country for their horses and what they do with horses and their raising of the horses. I don't know much about that language, but I know about the human body, and I know about good people, and I really know a lot about cool technology, which is this. Yeah. So Austin, I'll shut up and let you, how'd you find me? How'd you find this stuff?
So I think with everything, it's about relationships, whether it's personal life, healthcare life. And I was brought to you basically through relationships that I have with others. Really, I was at a point of desperation with my health. It's about a year ago or so.
I remember.
I was making kind of last visit trips up north to see family and stuff. They tested me for every kind of cancer there was. I mean, I was in a state where I was pretty sure I was dying. They couldn't figure it out. And a friend of mine said, "There's a guy you need to go see." He said, "He's not like anybody you ever met. He looks at the whole body, not just the bones." And he said, "I don't know what he can do for you." He said, "But he can do something for you." And so it led us in the direction of reaching out to you. And, really for my story, like you said, horses, humans, for a lot of years, I primarily focused on the horses and would work on some people here and there. Mm-hmm. Horses, for me, they're kind of a part of my soul. Where through my wife and I's coaching that we do and stuff is we always seen the disconnect. And, it's easy for people to give to their animals and will withdraw and hold back from themselves. Mm-hmm. And you can, for a horse and rider, it's a partnership, or it should be.
Should be, yeah.
But if you've spent all your time and all your money on your horse, but haven't looked at yourself, then you're not a very good partner to your horse. Yeah. Because he's trying to do all he can. And he says, my body feels great right now. What's wrong with yours? And so my wife, Cora, and I, we felt the need that it was time to really start focusing more on the humans, really try to get the word out there, try to change that level of thinking, is that it is a partnership. Yes, it's awesome that you are doing this for your horse. We need to look at you too. Mm-hmm. And so with that, we started talking to more riders, started showing them where their hips were off, where what their issues were, and creating the conversation. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing every time whenever you get them to open up in communication and so, ask the right questions, and they start telling you, they're like, well, yeah, my knee is hurting here, or, my ankle, or, whatever the area of the body it is, and say, hey, let's try to fix this. And, how we ended up with this device, it's a Sub-Zero from America Cryo. And I had always heard cryotherapy. The science behind it is something that made sense to me. I was a very proficient athlete before choosing a career path of riding bulls professionally. And so, yeah, I mean, we had the ice saunas and all the torturous devices. But one, they were just absolutely miserable to sit in an ice bath. I'm not a cold plunge type of guy.
Yeah.
So again, I understood the science, but with my lifestyle and those kind of in our life field, it's about efficiency.
Mm-hmm. Can I pause you for a second?
Mm-hmm.
He's being a real cowboy because he downplayed a couple of things here that I need to highlight because he was being modest. When I met him, he was on his deathbed. I mean, he was walking around. He was 20, 30 pounds lighter.
Oh, yeah.
And we did more than chiropractic care. We did a whole bunch of other stuff, and he did a whole bunch of other stuff, and we got him to where he is today. But also, you were working a job.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You had a job that wasn't in this field, and I just want to highlight the fact of I'm going somewhere with this, so hang tight. Mm-hmm. I want to highlight the fact that you were working. You were bad sick.
Yeah.
Bad sick. Where I saw fear in your wife's eyes, like I've seen a few times in my life. And you got your health back under you, got your guts right, started healing, and then you decided you're going to jump all the way into helping other people. So what is important for me to highlight is the fact of the people that I like to surround myself with, or the people that I'm coming in contact with or bringing into our office, because he comes to our office, is that it's a passion. He's doing it because he left a job that was paying him so he could go help more people. And I would say it's been successful for him.
Oh, yeah.
And so he's got bolts all up and down in his lower back, a bunch of them. He's got broken collarbones and all kinds of things. So he's being modest when he says in our way of life, well, that's a cowboy talking. These guys are beat up. And I think he's being I mean, I've seen his feet. They've been stomped on and beat up. And so I just wanted to highlight the fact that I know that you don't want to tell him all the war stories, but I do know all the war stories, and there's a bunch of them. He does set off the airport scanners.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, and I don't hold back the war stories because to not romanticize them or any of that, it would just take so long.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of them.
Yeah. I mean, I've had 18 major surgeries. What I would consider 3.5 back surgeries, literally have metal from my feet to my face. Yeah. And, I guess it is a passion. And what I always go back to was when I was rodeoing, it was before we discovered that I absolutely did have a broken back, that had healed bad and stuff. I was always, well, if it was broke, you'd be in more pain. Yep. Come to find out, it was always broke. But I got stuck behind a car going into a gas station. My back went out on me, and the only thing I could think was, I hope it's not an old lady that doesn't look in her rearview mirror and just runs over me.
Yeah.
But whenever going through that process of finally figuring out what was going on and stuff, they graded me by arthritic levels and stuff that I had an 86-year-old back, and I was 27 at the time, and sleeping maybe 2 hours a night, had to sleep in a recliner, was absolutely miserable. Hated, like, gloves off, I hated life. I didn't want to be around. Because being around was miserable, and the thing that frustrated me was through that process, when I got put on a bunch of medicine that didn't know exactly what it was, didn't know long-term effects of the stuff, and kept getting told, basically it is what it is. And in not being satisfied with it is what it is, and this is, you're going to be on pain management, you're going to, maybe you should get on disability. I wasn't happy with that, and I didn't want to settle. Yeah. And so for that, I started doing therapy, started getting myself clean off of all that medicine that they had put me on, and started looking at what else was out there, what could be done. And by asking the right questions from the right kind of people, I started getting the right kind of answers. And so it led me down a path of recovery, but not just for myself, but for others. And whether it's horses or humans or animals, man, if you want to believe that you can get better, I'm both feet in. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Because that microscopic amount of belief, that may be all you have.
Yeah.
And you just need somebody else that'll battle with you.
Yep.
And
we call that in our office. I'll do my job, you do your job, we'll get there together.
Yep. Yeah. And so that's where I've, now people are always like, well, how much school have you done? I'm always in school.
Yep.
I'm always trying to do my job better.
Yep.
And through experiences, you always experience new things. But with that, it led me to, and I consider an opportunity and a blessing that I was able to, through getting sick the way I did, that it brought me around more people like yourself that solidified ideas that I had about different therapeutic modalities and the cryotherapy, and specifically like the Sub-Zero wand versus a spa. It made sense to me. And just like I said, also our lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so then to pursue that, get into it and use it on myself and our house before ever bringing it out to the public. Everything that I had ever thought it would be, it surpassed. I could go on for hours about why it is such a crucial element for the health field. But I know it's also one of those deals is you got to try it.
Yep.
And I know for myself is now that it is a part of, really a part of our life. I mean, we use it on ourselves. We use it on our clients. Our kids are like, Daddy, I did this. You need to cryo it.
Yep.
It's something that everything that is in my control, I hope that it will always be a part of our lifestyle and what we do.
Well, I think also to be consistent with what my message would be and how I practice, and that's why we work together, is the body's going to do what it's supposed to do given the right conditions and environment. You're creating the right conditions and environment, and the body's going to do what it's supposed to do. And if we can always tie it back to that, that's the win every single time. The body's going to do what it's got to do, the right conditions and environment, boom. You give a tree water and sun, it's going to grow. It's just going to gravity, boom, it's going to happen. And that's what I resonate with in this device is just create the environment for it to be healing tissue. Create the environment to flush out inflammation. Create the environment and let the body do what it's supposed to do, which is different than let's take a pill, potion, or lotion and then put it all in there, and then we'll see what the body's going to do with that. No. Let's do something that's going to create physiological change so that it does what it's supposed to do naturally. That's the win.
Well, and that's what we talked is, like whether it's, you look at bacteria and funguses, both on the human side and the equine side, is we've literally watched it, basically it freezes them, it pops them, it changes the environment so that bacteria can't
survive,
reproduce. And that's what I love hearing you say that as far as creating the right environment, because that's what I've always told everybody, as a joke, but it is kind of serious, that my business plan is horrible because I'm trying to do something to the effects that you don't need me. Like,
work yourself out of a job.
I love that I can have a relationship with that client and we can, work together and do that. But ultimately, I don't want to have to see you keep coming back to me for a Band-Aid. I want to get your body right so that way you're coming to me as a checkup. You've got some big event planned or something you're doing. You're like, hey, I just want to make sure I'm good to go before I jump off this pool. And so in that, like we talk about that is it's the right nutrition. It's the right kind of workouts. It's muscles, bones, nerves. It's everything put together. I do my work, you do your homework.
Yep.
And then as that starts to work together, my belief is the body in the right environment is pretty self-sufficient.
Yep.
Once you get the roller coaster going, let it keep going.
Yep. And then it just takes a little maintenance, a little pruning, and that's easy. But it's creating the condition in the environment.
Yep.
Let's do it. You want to create some conditions in the environment
absolutely.
on my arm? I'll give you a little quick history on what I got going on. I think you already know. I've had it for a while. Let's see if we got that there. I adjust a lot of people and have for a lot of years. And so that means that I do this motion all day. Boom, 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 boom. A lot of that. So you can see that muscle firing up, and it goes all the way down. And its attachment point down to the thumb.
Yep.
And so what you're going to see him do is he's going to use this cryotherapy. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not as cold. So I wanted to show you in person because I'm not going to be chilly and frozen.
Well, that's what I tell everybody is it's cold, cryotherapy, but it's
cold,
it's a different kind of cold.
So tell me some of the safety features that are in that when it lights up like that.
So we see this blue light that lights up, and the nice part is, so that's a 30-second treatment right there. I call it a cycle. So that blue light, that's one thing that is really neat about the Sub-Zero is the safety input that it has. It has a blue light, which is optimal distance, optimal temperature. That's your indicator saying, hey, we are at temperature for the body and where we need. Let's stay there.
So it's taking an infrared reading all the time on where the skin temperature, keeping you safe from freezing.
Yeah, whenever you look at the face of this, it has a distance reading. It has temperature that is constantly changing. You have your time cycles. And then through the process, as you pick through, you can actually go into what cycle you're doing, whether we're doing a contact head, which is direct contact. And then also on the infrared and the lights, you have two different red lights.
Yeah.
One red light is if you're too close. One is if it's too cold. and both of those have an automatic 3-second shutoff. So if for some reason you're not paying attention, or if, say, your lighting's weird or something, and you can't see your light, it's going to shut off. That way it's not going to do any damage to you, and those are the really nice
safety features
of, that are going to keep you safe. Because obviously we are working with extremely cold temperatures that, if not practiced properly, you can do real damage.
Sure.
And that's in most modalities of therapy.
Yep. And so what you just saw was me receive treatment. That would be the treatment, about that long. And often he'll tape after that to support it, to give me some support. So when I'm moving, but right now, immediately I have more flexibility and motion through the thumb. Lastly, I can roll that. So you like that, it just cools that whole area and relaxes it. And what I like, the chiropractic adjustment, if it's done correctly, should, right when you get adjusted, that's better. Kind of the same situation.
Yes.
Woo, yeah, that's better.
Yep.
And if we can create that over and over again, I've seen it. I've had a hot low back. I've had a swollen disc, and that was the first time I used this device. And you had me face down, did about a 2-minute treatment, because the reason it's 2 minutes is because is that liquid nitrogen over there, or what is that? CO2. So it's
you can use either one.
Okay. So it's like, it's cranking some cold stuff out. You don't need 12 minutes on there. You need it quick. And it was so cold that it shrunk the disc when it was swelling, and that hot low back of mine, and I could feel neurological deficits in my toes. In other words, my toes got numb. The same nerve that was actually retracted off got cold and numb.
Yep.
That means it turned back on. Yeah. So I've seen it be just crazy fast and easy.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen some shoulder stuff.
Yep.
And I've seen some shoulders, I've seen some hands, I've seen some ankles. I know you've seen a ton of things.
Oh yeah.
what we're doing with what he's doing with this, and this is why I support what Austin's doing with American Cryo, is his passion for what he's doing, but also I've seen his x-rays.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, there's a lot of things that are going on in his body, and this is how he manages the inflammatory process. This is how he manages it. This is not a cold plunge. This is not a ice bath.
Nope.
It's not the same concept. It's not even, honestly, it's really not even the same science. And I mean, at its essence, maybe, but it's really not at the same advanced science. And so we have him in our office at 918 Chiropractic in the Midtown office every Wednesday. He gets there in the afternoon. He sees horses and humans all day long, and then comes down there, and then we call him the Iceman. And I receive text messages, is the Iceman coming on Wednesday? And so if you're interested in that, we offer that at the office at 918 Chiropractic in the Midtown location on 7th and Utica. They also own Bar 19 Ranch, and tell me a little bit more about that. Give yourself a plug.
Appreciate that. Bar 19 Ranch, we're located there in Kellyville, and we like to consider ourselves a small, tight-knit operation, but we have a lot of facets. We do a lot of colt starting, horse training, riding lessons, both kids and adults. We run a small group of cattle, and we do a whole bunch of therapy on both humans, horses, dogs. If it's a body in motion, we want to try to keep it in motion. And, our whole aspect at the ranch is we're trying to give it away. Every ounce of knowledge that we have bled for, sweated for, cried for, we want the next person to have it.
Yeah.
It's all you got to do is come and be willing.
Yeah.
And with Cora and I, it's a passion. Everything we do is, I want you to experience things in life that maybe were better than I had. I want you to be taught lessons so that you can learn different than I had to learn. Now, granted, sometimes learn the hard way is the best way to learn. I got 2 kids, and I swear they had to learn like Daddy learned.
Yeah.
But,
I get it.
It doesn't have to be. It is what it is, whether that's in your level of riding or your level of health. I've worked on really, really young toddlers all the way up to, I think my oldest client is just over 80. There's a lot of ways to adjust to help that person be where they need to be at and get to where they want to go. But yeah, our program it's filled with love and passion, and whether it's animals or humans, we just want to help you get to the next level.
Yeah. And I think, and it ain't bad. It's a nice place. I've been to it. It's beautiful out there.
Yeah.
And so it's not a bad place to work every day. I don't think.
No.
I don't have much else to say because he said those things. You know who he is. You get the essence of who the guy is. And what you see is what you get. I've never seen it change. So if you're looking for cryotherapy, he also does massage therapy. They also do equine massage. And so that's just giant horses that he wrestles still and does some of that stuff. But all of the things that he does is filtered through a place of Christianity and passion and showing up with your authentic self. And so that's what I want to circle myself with. And so, Austin, thank you for being here. Thank you for freezing my arm off. Just kidding. Thank you for, honestly, this is going to be a better weekend because my forearm's going to be better. I appreciate who you are and who you show up to help the people that I take care of. And then thank you so much for the people that you are taking care of from them, because I know who they are and I hear them talk. One of my close friends is now training with you guys with their kids and just had nothing but awesome things to say. Thank you for being yourself.
Appreciate it.
Catch you next time. Perfect.